So in my last video, I detailed 5 things that just completely drove me up a wall as an Uber driver. And I got a lot of comments sharing my sentiment. A lot of you guys sharing similar experiences and stories, and of course, more people complaining for, well, no reason. But I want to put the complaining aside for at least one video and level the playing field a bit. So in this video, let's talk about 5 things I like, or even love, about driving for Uber. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name's Key, and if you're brand new, pronounced Key in. And guys, I know, I said my next video was going to be a really big one and that it would be out in a couple of weeks. You know what? I gotta be honest. I gotta stop making promises I can't keep. That's on me at the end of the day. That's on me. I know, I understand. So I'm going to say that this video has taken way longer to actually accomplish and do than I thought it would take. The good news is that it is mostly like there. Hey, post-production Keen here. I just wanted to let you guys know that the video I'm referring to here about this video that took forever, this big project, this video is officially done and it is out now on the Rideshare Guy YouTube channel. You guys can go check it out with the link in the description below or the link at the top right. But in case you guys haven't already seen this video, I drove for Uber for 24 hours straight. And if you don't believe me or you're questioning as to how I was able to pull something like that off, go check the video out because I'm not going to give you any answers here. It's a super long video, but I promise you with the effort that I have been putting into this video for literally months, it is absolutely worth a watch. So go check it out. But for the meantime, back to the video. Okay, that aside, let's actually talk about the 5 things I like, or maybe even love, about driving for Uber. And the first thing I'm going to bring up is actually contradicting the first thing I brought up in my last video about 5 things I hated about driving for Uber, which is that you do get to be your own boss, technically, like a little bit. Okay, so I think that this is more of a double-edged sword than I initially realized in my last video, but I will say that there are perks to driving for Uber in the flexibility that you get with being a independent contractor than you would have with like a 9-to-5 job. Like, you are actually somewhat able to select whichever hours you want to drive throughout the day. You can go online whenever you feel like you need to go online and drive for Uber and make money. Even though that's not the practical way you should be doing it, that is technically a way you can do it if you feel most inclined to, so go crazy. And I think that being able to be your own boss can be both a pro and a con. Like, yeah, you get to be your own boss. You get to select whatever hours you want, but you also have to be responsible for yourself. Nobody else is going to watch over you. Nobody else is going to be judging your performances. That is on you at the end of the day, as to why I capped that video out by saying, at the end of the day, with everything Uber gives you or doesn't give you or takes away from you, you have to understand that the person that decides how much money you're able to make and how hard you work is you. The second thing I actually love about driving for Uber, and this is coming from 2+ years of experience in the gig economy and gig apps as a total, is that Uber is by far and away the best paying gig app that I have used. And look, yeah, I know there's going to be some market dependency. It might be the most profitable, it might be the least profitable in terms of your market. I can't speak for your market, I can speak for my market, but what I can say is I have tried DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, Amazon Flex, a bunch of different other apps like Walmart, Spark, and just a bunch of different other things, and Uber Rideshare. And once I made the switch to doing Uber Rideshare almost entirely, that is where I have been making the most money, consistently making over $30 to $35 an hour, like I said, in my market. And that's not even including, by the way, that's not including like the premier rides or like the very premium luxury rides or reservations. We'll get into some of those details a little bit later. But even if you don't count that or don't consider that, I still think that even just UberX in my market as like the baseline is still better and still better paying and still more consistent than DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub or even Amazon Flex to an extent, just because of the unknown variables that you have to deal with Amazon Flex. Okay, so the third thing that I love about driving for Uber, and admittedly this is something I actually love about driving for Uber, and this is something that's personal to me, I really like the atmosphere that Uber brings when you have people that are similar to you and are enjoyable to talk to. I do like talking to people. I'm a bit of an introverted extrovert, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't really like putting myself out there, but if I know people or if I am inclined to meet people like I do through my job, then I do open up a bit, and I do tend to have really insightful conversations with people once I open up to them a bit. So that's another reason as to why I really enjoy something like Uber over something like DoorDash or Amazon Flex or any of the other gig apps that aren't rideshare based, is that I do actually get to have a human-to-human interaction and experience with people that I don't really get from other gig apps. And obviously this reason is entirely personal to me. I'm sure a lot of you guys are completely introverted and hate having to deal with people or talking to people at all. And if that's the case, hey, Amazon Flex is still a great app if you can find consistent pay, or you're in a consistent paying market, and the delivery warehouses don't send you straight to Central Philly.
No amount of money is worth driving through Central Philly.
But guys, let me know in the comments down below. Are you guys more of an introverted extrovert, an extroverted introvert? Are you guys an introvert, an extrovert? Like, let me know. How do you guys actually like to experience talking with passengers and like experience driving for Uber in your own rights if you are an Uber driver yourself? Let me know in the comments down below how you guys actually like to drive and experience talking with passengers and everything. And by the way, whilst you're down there, also make sure to hit that like button, because you're already down there, and if you've been watching this long for the video, it means you actually like the video. So help me out a bit. It helps the algorithm, and it helps me, it helps you, everybody's happy. Okay, so the fourth thing I really like about driving for Uber, and again, this is kind of a personal thing, but I feel a greater sense of responsibility. I kind of mentioned this in the previous point of, being your own boss and like the pros and the cons that can have. And one of the pros/cons that you could have with that is that you have to really pay attention to your car. You have to take as good of care of your car as you possibly can. And of course, you should be doing that anyways, but it's leveled up to 100 when you're an Uber driver. And especially if you're like me and you are able to do premium rides in an electric vehicle or a Tesla like I am able to, and you absolutely have to keep a car like that spotless for the Uber Premier rides, because people will notice if there's a weird scent in the air, or if the carpet's really dirty, or if the seats are just kind of uncomfortable because they haven't been cleaned in a while. People will notice that, so you do have to be responsible. And I actually like that it keeps me responsible, not only for keeping my car clean, but also because I'm driving people around. I can't be an irresponsible driver like that, because again, they'll notice, and that's how you get to a really bad rating that obviously no Uber driver ever wants to get to. So this may be a con for you. It's a pro for me. I like having a clean car. I like being a responsible driver. I used to hate the prospect of driving at all before I got my license. And well, I drive for my job now, so really turned out well for me, didn't it? And the fifth thing that I absolutely love about driving for Uber, and I gotta admit, this is something that's a little more personal to me and is a little more available to me than it will be to a lot of you, but this is my list of things that I love about driving for Uber, so I'm gonna talk about it in my way. The fifth thing that I absolutely love is reservations, man. Uber reservations are so lucrative. I absolutely love them. And if you guys are a frequenting viewer of the Key In YouTube channel, you've probably seen a lot of my YouTube shorts. In fact, I'm sure a lot of you have come from my YouTube shorts where I have posted things about Uber reservations, ones that are very, very short but pay super well, and ones that are unbelievably long. So there's a lot of lucrativity, if that's the right word to put there, with reservations in comparison just to normal UberX rides. And by the way, I'm not even limiting this specifically just to like the Uber Premier reservations. Like, yes, obviously those are amazing to get when I get them, but I don't get them a majority of the time. In fact, I haven't gotten one like over a month. It's just been like instant offers for Uber Premier. But that aside, even like the Comfort Electric and the Comfort reservations that I get from Uber are very, very lucrative and make a lot of money in a relatively short amount of time in comparison to how much money you're getting from it. And speaking of which, by the way, if you are a frequenting viewer of the YouTube channel and you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, subscribe to the Key In YouTube channel. It really helps me out. I'm trying to make more content as we go. And of course, I'm making content for the Rideshare Guy as well. So all of my videos will be posted on the YouTube channel playlist, both from my YouTube channel posted here on this YouTube channel and my videos on the Rideshare Guy as well. So either way, make sure you guys are subscribed so you never miss a video. But that is my list. These are the 5 things that I love the most about driving for Uber. And like I said, I get it. I have a bit of a more leveraged position with being an Uber Premier driver in my market, so I get some better opportunities. But I think even without some of these opportunities, I would still really enjoy driving for Uber as much as I still currently do. Of course, it has its rough patches, and I have had issues with it, as to my previous video, but I really do enjoy it at the end of the day, and I would not want to be working any other gig app full time. I do like driving for Uber at the end of it all, and if I didn't, I wouldn't be making content about it. And look, I would love to say that Uber is all sunshines and rainbows, but let's be honest, you're watching Uber-based content, so you probably know that's already not the truth. And even for somebody in a leveraged position like my own, with the availability of Uber Premier on my market, there are still things I absolutely hate about driving for Uber, and these might be things that you don't already know about that you need to know about. So make sure you go watch that video over there to learn about the 5 things I hate the most about driving for Uber. And also, if you watch both the 5 things I hate and 5 things I love the most about driving for Uber, leave a comment down below on what things you both agree and disagree with on both fronts. I'd like to know what your guys' opinions are on what like the general public opinion is about the things that are good versus the things that aren't so good in the public perspective of the other Uber drivers in the YouTube community. But with all of that said and done, that's gonna be the end of the video for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and stay cool.